Hello, Internet. This is Comic Book Talks for Saga issue 30. Just read it. Gonna give my thoughts. Here we go. So, we start off, and we pick up where the last issue ended with the ship crashing, and we see Marco, and there's some narration by Hazel about how every relationship is an education, yada yada yada, and it keeps going from there. And then we have Goose, and he's like, Marco, are you still alive? I think Mr. Four is hurt real bad because his robot's just like laying there, his shirt's all blown up, and well, not blown up, but like torn and stuff. And then Marco's out of it, and he's like, wait, where are we? Who, what? And then Goose is like, yeah, we crashed, remember? And then Goose is like, have you sensed my family? And he's like, oh, I sense Rindo. He's just a few miles east from here, or a bit to the east of here. And then Marco's all, wait, then what are we waiting for? And he's just like getting up, getting his armor, getting his sword. He's like, let's do this. And Goose is like, but Prince Robot needs. And Marco's like, stay with him. I don't care about this guy. And he just like leaves him. And then we come back to Alana on the ship with two of the last revolutionaries, whatever, however you would say that. And then this is right after Dingo totally just like offed two of them, so they heard the gunshots because one of them's like, wait, that sounded like shooting, or that definitely sounded like shooting. Definitely sounded like shooting. And the other one's, I'll stay here with the prisoner, I'll go check on the other. But then before he can finish the sentence, Alana jumps on his back. He's like, this lady's crazy. And then she jumps back up, and because the other one's like, hey, with her little, I guess, gloves that have laser beams that shoot out of them. That looks how they work. I don't know, but I guess we'll find out maybe. She's like, whoa, hold it right there. I'm gonna, and then before she can finish the sentence, I was like, back up, because like you see that she got a grenade from one of the dude that she like jumped on. And she's like, all right, let me out, or I'm gonna just off all three of us. And then after some, threatening words, they let her out, and then she punches one of them on the way out. And then when she gets out, she sees that Dingo's there, and he's all, "You're right, Alana. I was way over my head." Like I said a couple. Well, he doesn't say the exact same words I said a couple issues ago, and I was like, "Dingo's over his head," and he's just going along with it because he's kind of no real choice here because he's outnumbered, outgunned. But now he's like, okay, well, you're right, and luckily we've turned the tide, and I've already taken out two of their people, and I sent your mom and Hazel back to the ship. But then we find out that what is the mom's name? I keep forgetting. Whatever. The mom, so the grandma and Hazel, they're supposed to go back to the ship, the tree ship, but then the grandma was all like, well, I'm getting Alana out of here. But she didn't know Alana had escaped. So they go back to where she was held, but then the door is blown open, and then they see the two guards that were guarding Alana, and then the grandma's all like, crap. Oh, also Dingo's all mentioning something about they have to get something from their engine room before they leave. So that's something to make note of. And then they're outside in the snow, and then you see that they've stolen some fuel, or a fuel cube, from the last revolutionary ship. And they're like, haha, we've got enough of this to put back into the wooden ship, and then we'll be good. But then that armor guy with the spirit trapped inside of the two people comes around. And he's like, hey, what are you doing? But then Dingo just, he offs him. He's just like, pop. Or, well, he uses a sword energy attack thing. And then, and then Alana asks, like, where's Hazel and the grandma? Because they should have been out here before us. And then in his dying breath, he's all, I haven't seen anybody, I swear. And then we go back to the ship with Hazel and the grandma, and we see that they're monitoring Alana and Dango outside. And then one of the henchmen's all like, okay, well, I'm going to go out there and murder those two because they killed everybody. And then the lady's like, nope, we're going to cut our losses. We're out of here. And they push the little button. They hopscotch out of there. And then, like, right before it happens, Alana's like, wait, no, they're still on the ship. We got to get back. And then it hopscotches, and they're like, dang it. Or she's really angry at this point. Cause she's like, because Dango gave her a gun, so she was armed. And then, so also somewhere along the way, he gave her the princeling, so that happened too. So now she's carrying the princeling, which I thought was pretty funny little. I don't know. It looked funny to me. Because like Dango's been carrying it this whole time, but then he gives it to Alana, and then so that happens, and then she pulls her gun on him, and she's like, "This is all your fault, you idiot." I knew it. You're, and then like ever since you like came into our ship, you've been nothing but trouble, and now I'm gonna kill you. But then before she can do it, Marco is like right over the horizon, and he's like walking up, and he's like, Alana, and then she's like, Marco, and they're like, oh, happy fun or happy makeup time. We're not so angry at each other anymore because our daughter's in danger, and we got to get this done. And so she's about to execute Dango. And she's like, man, I want to kill this guy. And then Marco's like, yeah, me too. But then he's like, well, that's not who we are, though. So they spare him. and then you're thinking, okay, maybe Dango's gonna make it out of this. But then up over the horizon comes Prince Robot and Goose, and it's like, man, this was like a really good short conversation, because it's like, it's like part of me was like, I was like wondering if he was gonna like let Dango like finish his like sentence, or like finish his, like what he had to say. But like you already knew it was coming. Like you already knew he was just gonna like end him, and it was like, it was like so satisfying. Because it's like, I liked it because like, you think Alana's gonna do it, because like no way Alana's like not gonna do it, but then she doesn't. And then same with Marco, because it's like, what? I was like, well, no way. So then you have the confrontation between Dango and Marco, or I'm sorry, Dango and the prince, and yeah, so the prince is like there, and he's like, is that him? Is that the animal that took my wife from me? And then Dango's like, Your Highness, I've waited a very long time to say this to your face. This was my son Joachim. I lost him to a sickness that your kingdom could have easily, and like he has like the image of his son on his face on his TV, and then the prince says like one word, and he's like, fascinating, and then just like brah, and just like shoots him with his like little cannon arm thing that he's used in the past, same way that he killed the Stalk. So yeah, I thought that was like a neat juxtaposition, because that's kind of like what happened with the prince's wife. Was she like technically the princess? Whatever, like, or whatever, like. But yeah, when Dango killed the princess, then like he basically said like one thing, or like he said one thing and then like killed her, because he's like, my name's Dango, what's your name? And then she's like about to say something, but then he just like stabs her in the face with the like he shanks her in the face with the sword or something. But yeah, that was pretty crazy. But yeah, that was nice, into Dango's run as the villain in the story. So which like leads us to like the next weird crazy thing, because we're not done yet. Because I was like, man, that was neat. Now what's going to happen? Because I thought like there'd be some conflict with like maybe Alana having the princeling, and like the prince thinking like that she is like going to like do something crazy, but she just gives it back, so it's cool. And then he has like that same thing on his face when he the same image of the whatever that is, that like that baby toy, when he did it before, when he was doing something in like the very beginning, and then like basically that comes on his monitor, and like he kills someone because he's like, so thinking about getting back to his family, and so this happens, but then he gets his kid back, so it's like, yay, Prince Rabbit gets a happy ending. Well, we'll see how it ends, because like he's wanted now. And the royal family's not very happy with him, but we'll see. Okay, and then we go back to Gwendolyn, Sophie, Lion Cat, Sweet Boy, and then they're back at the Will, or back with the Will. And so we see that they've been able to resuscitate him and bring him out of the coma, and he's been cured / saved. And so that happens, and then he's like, where, who? Because the last time we saw Sophie, she was like way younger. And then but yeah, they explain everything, and then he's waking up, and he's like, wait, what is that? Because I don't remember exactly what the Stalk's whatever they gave the Stalk, or from the Stalk's old ship to like hunt down the killer. But we all know who the Stalk's killer is, so that's going to be a really interesting part of the next arc. Since that person is now with Prince Alana and Marco because they just can't catch a break. So yeah, well that's like subplot A. Subplot B is coming up after this. But yeah, so that happens because Gwendolyn's got like the piece of the ship, and they're like, yeah, we have this piece of the ship that was from the Stalk's killer, and they wanted you to hunt them down and blah blah blah. But then he sees the sweep boy in the corner. He's like, wait a minute, that's the Brand's dog, isn't it? And then they're like, yeah, about that. We were gonna wait to tell you, like, until you had, recovered a bit more. And then he's like, wait, is my sister dead? And they're like, yeah. So in the process of getting the cure to save you, my bad. And he gets really angry, and it's like he's just like, get the F out of here, get away from me, everybody. Like he sends everybody away, even Lion Cat. I mean the Brand's dog is still there, so whatever. But like in like the narration, it says nobody knew exactly what kind of nightmare had been awakened that evening, but in time my parents would find out. So it's like once again we have the will intersecting in or future intersecting in the future with Alana and Marco, because they have Prince Robot with them right now, and Prince Robot is the one that killed the Stalk. So it's like the Stalk is, or not the Stalk, but the family of the Stalk has basically gave this mission to the Will. I guess it's assumed that he will take the mission to kill the killer of the Stalk, who is Prince Robot. So that basically sends him on a trajectory after Alana and Marco, since Prince Robot is with them right now, unless he goes on his own separate way, which might not happen, because as we mentioned, the royal family not so happy with him. Might not take him back in, and if they do, they might execute him, because it's like, you're too far, too far out there, Prince Robot. The things you've been doing, and, the trail of bodies and damage and destruction that you've left, going on this crazy crusade to get your kid back, can't have it. But I guess we'll see. And then, subplot B, so, we got, some wing facility. I don't, like I said before, I don't remember like the wings and the horns, which planet is Wreath and which one's Moonfall or Nightfall or whatever. So they're there on that facility. We don't see the grandma, so it's like either she's in prison dead. We don't know what her fate is yet. But we come into this classroom, and then so at first she's speaking English, but then she switches over to the horn people language, where she says something like, all right, everyone, let's form a circle, something in horn people speak. But she doesn't have horns because it's an insect lady, which is also another weird character design. So I thought that was neat, but also kind of creepy because it reminded me of the Stalk, and the Stalk freaked me out, man. Just all the Stalk people of that species just freaked me out. Of like, it's like a centaur if the bottom half was spider and the top half was human, because it's just like, ugh, worst thing ever. Just ugh. Thanks, Fiona Staples, for drawing that, or Brian K. Vaughan for being like, hey, I have this idea for the character. Just, But yeah, we see that Hazel is in a classroom, and then it says, it was a time I started my own education. So, there's like the whole, what's that word? Parallelism, whatever. But like the narration the whole time is all about like education and like relationships and stuff. And then at the end, it's like, Hazel's like, oh, well, I'm starting education now, because I guess she's in this school with all the horn people, and they're going to tell them about how terrible people with wings are, so maybe she'll hate her mom. I don't know, we'll see. Or indoctrinate her with, like, these weird ideologies of, like, whatever the horn people have, or not. Or maybe the other kids in the class have wings and horns, and they're, like, scooping them up to, like, do stuff with them in a secret facility. Who knows? I don't know. And now Saga's on break for however long until the next issue, so it'll be a while for the next one. So luckily, even though I was behind, I was able to catch up before the next one came out. So yay. So yeah, that's Saga 30. Still going strong. Still enjoying it. Still loving it. Like a great setup for the next arc. Because everything's not wrapped up, but you know, like you have the Will is back. I'm happy. I'm super pumped that he's back. I'm kind of sad because it's like it looks like he's gonna be the villain, and you know, it's like he barely made it out of the first arc, dude. So it's like he's like my favorite character. So after that happened, I thought it was cool that like Gwendolyn got the cape and she like was like, you know, doing stuff, trying to save him. But now it's like, oh man, now it's like it's like, yeah, man, like the Will and Gwendolyn, it's like they have always been like, you know, in their minds they're doing the right thing, but then they always end up like in opposition to Marco and Alana, because that's what happened last time. Because yeah, Gwendolyn was like, I'm gonna. I don't even remember, man. I don't think she wanted to kill him. She was just like angry because like she was like angry ex, wanted to get back with Marco, but then Alana was in the picture, so it's like Alana. So yeah, and then Lion Cat, man. Like you can't go wrong with Lion Cat. So more of them, always a good thing. I mean, it's gonna be weird if they like turn into the villains, or whatever. That's gonna suck. Then Hazel is in like some secret military facility somewhere. Like, who knows when they're Alana and Marco are gonna like get find her. But then I guess that's another thing, is like they're gonna like, you know, have to just go on a quest to save them. But then they have Prince Robot, so maybe he has some sort of like inside angle, can like, you know, be like, oh well, I'm an android, so I'm an ally with the horns or whatever, and like, you know, see what happens. Yeah, and then like, what's up with the grandma? Like, what happened? Is she imprisoned? Is she dead? Executed? Who knows? But yeah, I'm still pumped for Saga. Can't wait until it comes back from break. So yeah, it'll be a long wait, but it'll be worth it. And yeah, so that makes it a lot. I guess that'll make it a lot easier on the comic book talks though, because that's only a couple things coming out now that I got to keep up with. But yeah, that was it for Saga issue 30, and what I thought about it, and how yeah, you know, I enjoyed it thoroughly. I gave that issue 5 stars on Comixology scale, so you know, that is that. So feel free to leave a like, comment, subscribe, favorite, share with your friends, or not. That's cool too. And until you see or hear from me again, hope you enjoyed listening to my comic book talk or watching it or whatever. And until you see or hear from me again, I'm now signing off.